Hi everyone, it's great to be back at Woman2Woman after our summer break, and this morning at our Friday session we started a new study that I'd like to share with you called There Are No Ordinary People. Have you ever been told that you're ordinary, or perhaps you feel ordinary? And feeling ordinary can sometimes lead us to believe that we could never make a difference in this world. There are just too many problems or concerns, there's too many disasters going on around us, that what could little old me do to make an impact? Well, there are many men and women in the Bible that are mentioned and that stand out for doing fantastic things and making an impact, like Abraham and Moses, Queen Esther, Peter and the Apostle Paul. And they did great things for God. You may even say that they were extraordinary. However, they're not the only ones that did great things for God, and you too can do great things for God. And in this study, we're going to look at one man that was quite ordinary in comparison to the rest, but that this man did the ordinary life beautifully for God, and his name was Barnabas. So today we looked at three things that Barnabas did for God that really made a difference, and it's three things that we can do today. In Acts chapter 4, verse 32 to 37, we read of the early church, the first church, this new group of Christ followers doing church, completely sold out, on fire for Jesus. And we learned that they gave up their time, their money, their food, and they shared it with everyone. Now, I'm not just talking about a cup of tea and a digestive biscuit and a 2-minute chat at the end of a service. This was really doing life together, true fellowship. And the first thing we read about Barnabas is that he took responsibility. He saw a need, the needs of those around him, and he responded. What stops us from responding and taking responsibility, helping other people, starting up a ministry, getting involved in the community perhaps? Maybe it's because we're afraid of failing. Maybe it's because we think there's someone better qualified than us or equipped than us to do it. But what if it's you that is God that is calling to take responsibility and step up? Barnabas took responsibility. Number 2, he was generous. The scriptures tell us that he sold his land to free up money to be able to help feed the poor and respond to those needs of others. You know, the early church, they didn't have the platforms and the opportunities that we have today, like social media, online bookstores, international Christian conferences. They never had any of that. So how did this early church move and spread and grow and be as successful as it was? Well, one man, Andy Stanley, a well-known Christian pastor and evangelist, suggests that it was through generosity. By giving to the poor, sharing what they had, they were loving others. They were demonstrating Christ's love in action. This wasn't showing off, this was showing Christ. Ordinary people like you and me can demonstrate Christ's love in action. You know, and it doesn't even need to be monetary. You can be generous with your time or with your words. Barnabas was generous. Our third and final point was that Barnabas was an encourager. How do we know that? Well, the scripture tells us that his real name was actually Joseph. However, he was known as Barnabas, which means son of encouragement. Can you imagine being known as your character? What would your name be if that was the case? Barnabas encouraged others. The Bible in the book of Hebrews teaches us that we are to find ways to encourage each other and to motivate each other in love, in acts of love. Barnabas is referred to by scholars as quite unknown, overlooked perhaps. However, this ordinary man did great things for God and for others. And we can learn from this. We can take responsibility and reach out. It might just be one person. In fact, why not ask God this week to give you one person that you can be generous with, one person that you can speak words of encouragement to, words of encouragement into their lives. And as you do, Let God use you in an extraordinary way. Until next time, God bless.